if you're a netball coach and you're watching this right now, you'll remember your best coach and you'll remember your worst coach. Okay, what are some of the key points, some of the key attributes that your favourite coach had? And then what are some of the attributes that your worst coach had? On time, being planned, having a little bit of fun, being able to relate, being able to giving feedback, communicating really well. And then we went around the room and they mentioned about their worst coach, had her or his favourites. That was quite a biggie, and that's quite a tricky subject in regards to favourites. And they all come in different shapes and sizes and attitudes and values and everything, but at the end of the day, they're all part of the family. So not having any direction. Like when they come off at half time, one said, oh, my coach was ridiculous, like, come off at half time and they didn't give me anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. So just taking those good points of like, what does your favourite coach look like? Even if it's 2 skills that you think, yeah, I'm going to work on that for the season. And at the end of the season, just do like a little review, like a little evaluation sheet, and you have those 2, maybe those 2 key skills that you think, I want you to measure me on. And like, was I a really good listener? Or was I always on time? Whatever you feel that you think, yeah, that's what I want to be remembered by. And get them to review you, to give you the positive feedback at the end of your season. But, it's a good way to start off. Parent expectations, that's another big thing, which is like when you're coaching schoolgirls, if the parents have an expectation, there's some certain aspects which I'll cover, which I really believe that, it will help you out. If you are a coach of young girls and you know that the parents are kind of like helicopter parents, have your own sense of who you are and your style and sticking with it. So starting off with the team is actually making sure that you do something that binds them together. We talked about culture. You've got to create your own culture. It might be something together first. So that's for 2 minutes. And then you go into what we'd say our net fit activities. So net fit's like using the ball in pairs. Use music. Look, music gets me inspired. I love the music in the back. It really pumps me up. Bread and butter, B&B we call it. And it could just be for 3 minutes. And it might just be a set thing that you feel like it could be up against the wall. It might be 10 passes with that hand, 10 passes with this hand, then going back to 2 meters, passing 20 passes, but you're with your partner. You and your partner are egging each other on, and you're making it quite competitive that they want to rush back and be the winner of the B&B. Individual skill sets after your net fits, keep to a structure and knowing, like, I know as an athlete, as a young netballer, I know how long my training's going to take. I want my coach to tell me what the theme is. I want her to say, or him, to say, theme for tonight is speed, and we're going to be, the time is 6 o'clock, we're going to be out of here, finished by 7:20. When athletes come into you, they're not a netballer. They're just like, they might be working, they could be at study, they could be at school, whatever it might be, that they bring what we call mental baggage. And at one of my trainings, I actually brought a suitcase into training. And then I opened up the suitcase and I said to the girls, look, before you go across the line, you're going to drop your mental baggage off into the suitcase, and I'll close the lid when we've all got your mental baggage. Now, there were a couple of girls that had sort of some issues that they need to deal with. One was with a boyfriend, another one was, her situation at university is a stressful situation for her. Those two just hung behind the line. So they hung behind the line because they weren't in the right frame, mental baggage, they're processing, thinking, working out their strategy to deal with that there before they then, when they're ready, prepared to be that netballer, the superstar netballer for the trainings, they step across the line. And then that's when they're in. So being able to focus in on being a netballer, put some things in place so then you know that you're going to have netballers that are coming in their best mental state and that they're ready to be a netballer. I had a situation, and like she just kept on dropping the ball, and it literally became painful. Now look, when they're young, when they're under, say, 10 years old, of course you coach differently when you're coaching a young one to when you're coaching one that's a little bit older, that's got a little bit of experience. You need to be able to hold them accountable. So when you're actually training, they need to train how they play. So would that be acceptable to drop the ball in the game? Or would it be acceptable to step? Well, no, it wouldn't be. It's not negotiables. You have some not negotiables and negotiables. And stepping, replayed ball, going offside, that's called a not negotiable in netball. And there's ones that are negotiable, like if you're shooting a goal and you miss, well look, you're only human, you just got to run in and get the rebound, so that's called a negotiable. Your selection is the most critical thing, and it's probably one of the most hardest things. Making it to a triangle, star players, so they're your top ones, and then around on the sides they're called your drivers. They're the ones that drive the program. They're not necessarily your stars, but they drive your program. And then down on the base you have what we call the grinders. Now the grinders are the ones that, okay, they might not make the Silver Ferns or the English netball team because that's called the superstar, but the grinders have such an integral part to play within the structure of your team. They're committed, they're doing a little bit extra, and they're trying. They may not have as much talent as your drivers or your superstar, but they're still part of the team, because it all boils down to having the big word that starts with A, the right attitude. I have 7 that are like wow, like 7 athletes that you feel yes, that one can be goal shoot, goal attack, or wing attack centre, wing D, goal keep. Like you want to ensure that you've got a main lineup with 3 reserves, or even 2 probably, that that they can be flexible. You choose the player that could be best in her position, because what we find is that we're getting players that are like jack of all trades, master of nothing. So when a young athlete is coming through, it's it's neat for her to be able to, or him, to be able to master a position. Say, yeah, I'm really awesome, I'm really good at wing attack, and then my backup, the one that I'm good at, is centre. But ultimately, it's players for positions, not positions for players. Like, say for example, you've got 2 goalkeepers in the 7. Okay, well, you can put one at goal defence, and always trust yourself as well. And it's nice to be able to have outside selectors, someone that doesn't know the group of girls or boys as much as what you know them. So it's neat to be able to bring someone else into the mix.